We're joined today by college students, young entrepreneurs, families, workers, mothers, and fathers from all over our nation. You make this country run. It's an honor to be with you, and it's an honor to have you at the White House. And thank you all for being here. Really fantastic. Thank you. Great people. As a candidate, I promised we would pass a massive tax cut for the everyday working American families who are the backbone and the heartbeat of our country. Now we're just days away, I hope, you know what that means, right? From keeping that promise and delivering a truly amazing victory for American families. We want to give you, the American people, a giant tax cut for Christmas. And when I say giant, I mean giant. As we speak, Congress has reached an agreement on tax legislation that will deliver more jobs, higher wages, and massive tax relief for American families and for American companies. The typical family of four earning $75,000 will see an income tax cut of more than $2,000, slashing their tax bill in half. It's going to be a lot of money. You're going to have an extra $2,000, but there are many more things than that. Our plan expands the child tax credit for working families. You'll hear the numbers very soon, but they're even larger than anticipated. It nearly doubles the amount of income taxed at the rate of zero. I don't know if any of you are paying zero. I hope you're not. I hope you're paying above that. But a lot of people who are having it a little bit tough are going to be paying zero. It closes special interest loopholes. It lowers tax rates for families. And our plan also cuts taxes on businesses, which is expected to raise income by an average of more than $4,000. So your income goes up. It's like having a $4,000 increase, which isn't bad. It's a lot of money to spend. A lot of jobs are going to be created with the money that you spend. Very special. And it makes America competitive again so we can bring back that simple but beautiful phrase. You've heard it before, made in the USA, right? I don't know if they've heard it, but you've heard it. Our current tax code is burdensome, complex, and profoundly unfair. It has exported our jobs, closed our factories, and left millions of parents worried that their children might be the first generation to have less opportunity than the last. Our factories have left, so many of them, gone, but they're all coming back. And you see it even before we do this. They're starting to come back. Our country's starting to do really well again. And as a country, we're being respected again. I'm here today to tell you that we will never let bad things happen with respect to the economy of our country. We're not going to lose our businesses again like has happened over the last number of decades. America is coming back bigger and better and stronger than ever before. Okay? They'll see it, and they're going to see the result. America isn't content just by getting by. America is about getting ahead, about finding the best in ourselves and in each other. We're reclaiming our destiny as Americans, a nation that thinks big, dreams bigger, and always reaches for the stars. We didn't become great through massive taxation and Washington regulation. And by the way, we are cutting regulation at a rate never seen before in the history of our country. We became great because our people, our families, and because of our freedom. We became great because of our drive to find the next horizon, to unlock the next mystery, and to begin the next adventure. You know what I'm talking about. And that's who we are, a nation of strivers and builders and dreamers and doers, people who treasure their independence and don't know how to quit. Never quit. Never, ever give up. Never, ever. I say that also to our great cabinet. And they've done a great job. A lot of things have happened. Nobody's done the job that we've done. When government loosens its grip, there is no summit we cannot reach. Our tax cuts will break down, and they'll break it down fast, all forms of government and all forms of government barriers, and breathe new life into the American economy. They will unleash the American worker. They will tear down the restraints on discovery, innovation, and creation, and they will restore the hopes and dreams of the American family. Millions of middle-class families will win under our plan. And today we are honored to hear from a few of those wonderful and truly great families. Bryant and Ashley Glick, right, are from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I know it well. They have two beautiful children with a third on the way. Bryant manages a farm equipment store. Ashley works in healthcare. This year, they were in the 15% tax bracket. Under our plan, they will drop to the 12% bracket. It's a big drop. Instead of itemizing their deductions, they'll be able to file their taxes on a single little beautiful sheet of paper. That's good. That's good. And instead of paying $2,600 in income taxes, they will get it down to $2,000. They'll save at least $600 and probably more than that. Bryant, Ashley, how about saying a few words? You want to? Come on. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here. On behalf of the good people of Lancaster County, my family, and specifically my grandmother, Linda Martin, well done. Many of your predecessors promised that this reform was coming, but you did it. We are greatly excited about this. With the tax savings that we are going to see, we are going to put that money into home renovations. And I'm excited that you were the one that got it over the finish line. Thank you, Mr. President.
The Kovacs family also joins us today from Ohio. That's a great state. A lot of success in Ohio. Adam is a veteran who works in telecommunications. Lindsay works in administration, admissions at a university, and they have two beautiful children. This year, they're currently in the 25% bracket and pay nearly $14,000 in taxes. Our plan gives them their time back because they won't have to itemize, and it gives them nearly one-third of their money back, more than $3,500 for 1 year. I'd like to invite the Kovacs to explain what our tax cuts will mean for them. They've studied it very closely. These are very smart, sharp people. They know exactly what we're doing here, and they like it. Come on up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. It is truly an honor that you invited the Kovacs family to the White House today. This is going to be great for our family. We have home renovations that we want to take care of and hopefully save for our two children to go to college. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
The Giampolo family is from Polk County, Iowa. Anthony is a police officer, and Auburn is a 911 emergency dispatcher. When they're not at work protecting and serving their fellow citizens, their hands are full with four wonderful children. This year, they were in the 25% bracket. They're itemized deductions, and they've done everything they can. They paid more than $19,000 in taxes. Thank you very much, by the way. That's a lot of money. I like to. Under our plan, they will file on a single page and save $2,700. Anthony, Auburn, maybe you'd like to say a few words. Come on in. Thank you.
Just want to thank President Trump. Education is very important to our family. Under this bill, our family will be able to save a lot of money. We have a lot of people going to school. My wife and I are both in graduate school finishing up, and we still got 4 other kids to get through college, so it'll help out a lot.
Leon and Maria Benjamin are pastors of New Life Harvest Church, and it's a beautiful church in Richmond, Virginia, and they have 3 wonderful children. Under our plan, they will get a larger tax refund to help them pay their bills. They'll receive a tax refund this year of $3,000. Leon and Maria, I would love you to discuss your middle-class tax cut a little bit with the millions of people watching right now on television. You do very well. We're very proud of you, and it is indeed a beautiful church. I got to see a very, very nice picture. We'll have to get there someday soon. Thank you. Come on in.
To God be the glory. Thank you, President Trump, for inviting us here. On behalf of the Benjamin family and, of course, Richmond, Virginia, we represent a cadre of many families across the nation. African-American families, urban communities, and families all across need this now. And it's time for a change. And it's time that we recognize that our president is making good on his promises. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless you, and we'll continue to keep praying for you and your team as you move forward and forge ahead with this new future in America. God bless you.
He can be my minister anytime. The Howard family lives in Tenino, Washington. Isaac owns an espresso machine service company, and Emily takes care of their 4 beautiful children. They're currently in the 15% bracket and pay $2,500 in taxes. Our plan will totally wipe out their tax bill, and they might even get a refund of substantially more than $700. I'd like to introduce them. Come on up.
I'm going to speak for us today. We are absolutely blessed to be here. So thank you, Mr. President. It's our joy to stand before you guys. And what this means to us as a family is that we will be able to pour out into our community, whatever that looks like, giving away to families that are in need or setting them up for success in any way that whatever God has planned for our family. I think that is our goal, and we are blessed to have such an amazing president, and what a good steward he is of our country. So thank you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you all. It's critically important for Congress to quickly pass these historic tax cuts, and that's going to take place I think even before the media. I use the word media. Do you notice? As opposed to fake news media. I don't say that. Because today is a very important day. We want everybody to be covered very accurately. So I'm excited to announce that if Congress sends me a bill before Christmas, the IRS, this is just out, this is breaking news, has just confirmed that Americans will see lower taxes and bigger paychecks beginning in February, just 2 short months from now. Okay? Just got that. We just got that. 55 years ago this week, President John F. Kennedy, a Democrat, launched a historic effort to pass sweeping top-to-bottom tax cuts. A half a century later, we're reminded that lowering taxes is neither a Republican or Democrat idea, but an American principle and an American idea. The goal of my administration is for every American to know the dignity of work, the pride of a paycheck, and the satisfaction of a job well done. We want people to love waking up in the morning and going to work just with that incredible enthusiasm that we have in this country. And that's what we're going to be doing, and that's what's going to be happening. Today, we stand on the verge of a new economic miracle. Our economy has already surged to 3% growth, far ahead of schedule, by the way, far, far ahead, in each of the last 2 quarters. And if we didn't have the hurricanes, we could have hit 4 last quarter. 4, a number that was unthinkable 2 years ago when I started the campaign, and even my first month in office. That was an unthinkable number. And I'll tell you what, it's going to go higher than that. We've created 2.2 million jobs since the election. Unemployment is at a 17-year low. The unemployment rate in the manufacturing business is the lowest in recorded history. Consumer confidence is a 17-point high. Pensions and retirement accounts are soaring as the stock market hits 85 new record highs since the election. How are we doing? Are we doing okay? Not bad, right? And if Congress sends me a tax reform, this is only a small beginning to the incredible things that our people will achieve over a very short period of time, and the tremendous heights that we will reach economically and so many other ways in our country every day as this victory draws closer. I mean, we are so close right now, so close. In fact, almost, I don't want to talk about it. Maybe we shouldn't talk about it. The cynical voices that opposed tax cuts grow smaller and weaker, and the American people grow stronger. I heard one of our opponents stand up the other day and say, this is for the rich. They had no idea. They didn't even see the final bill. I didn't see the final bill. This is for the people of middle income. This is for companies that are going to create jobs. This is for very, very special people, the great people of America. Every day, hardworking Americans know that the future of this nation will never belong to those who say you can't. It will always belong to the American people who will say, we will. It belongs to people like the Glicks, the Kovacs, the Giampolos, the Benjamins, the Howards, and the millions of Americans just like them across our nation who pour out their hearts and souls every single day to take care of their families and the country they love and that we love. We are going to have a country that celebrates you again. Hardworking, great people. You're being celebrated again. Remember that. Because you were a little bit forgotten. We have caught the forgotten people. Somebody else called me and everybody else the deplorables. Have you ever heard that term? Right? We're proud to be the deplorables, and we're doing well. We're going to make our tax system work for you again. We're going to make our economy work for you again. And we are going to make the American dream. And that's the real dream. That will be the dream that you want for your children and your grandchildren once again. But we need your help to get Congress across that finish line. We'll have very little Democrat support, probably none. And that's purely for political reasons. They like it a lot. And they can't say it. They don't like what's happening, but they can't say it. Someday we have to come together and do bipartisan, and hopefully it can happen soon. Right? If you make your voices heard, this moment will be forever remembered as a great new beginning, the dawn of a brilliant American future, shining with patriotism, prosperity, and pride. With your help, we will bring back our jobs. We will bring back our wealth as a country. And for every citizen across this beautiful land, we will bring back our great American dreams. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was President Trump giving what is anticipated to be his final speech on this tax bill. The House has approved their version, the Senate's approved their version. Reportedly, they have reached a tentative deal, the House and the Senate, on a final version that they will both vote on. And if they both approve it, that will go to the president to sign into law. And the president seemed very excited about it today. He says he would love to sign it before Christmas. And that way, he says, if he signs it before Christmas, he said Americans could start seeing lower tax bills by February of next year. So President Trump pushing that tax plan, saying he wants Congress to pass it and to send it to his desk to sign before Christmas, and he says it will cut a lot of taxes, especially for the middle class. He really emphasized that in his speech today. He had 5 families come up, or representatives of 5 families, who he said were middle class families, and they all talked a bit about how they would be benefited by President Trump's tax plan. So this is the post show for the tax speech. We want to hear, what did you think about the speech? Let me know what you thought about the speech, and we'll talk about the tax deal a little bit, and you can let me know what you think about the new tax bill and the new tax deal. You can write to me to comment and get your comment on the air. You can write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Give me a shout. What do you think about President Trump's speech? What do you think about the families appearing there today? What do you think about this new tax deal? Let me know. And I just want to give you a quick update of some of the details about this tax bill, the tentative deal that was released today. But before I do that, I just want to say, if you like our coverage, if you like having a place to watch President Trump events and breaking news, that's not CNN, MSNBC, Fox, ABC News, the big news networks. If you like having that alternative, please consider donating to Right Side Broadcasting, because we rely on you for support. We can't stay on the air without your donations. You're the ones who keep us on the air. So if you'd like to donate and support us, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat room and click on the little dollar sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat room. Also, you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And a big thank you to the moderators who are moderating the chat rooms today, both on the web. We got Common Sense and Glenn O. And on YouTube, Guinevere is there, Barbara Braley is there, Webster is there, and who else is there? JC is there. So thanks all of you for moderating. All right, so before I get to your comments, and let me know what you thought of President Trump's speech today, what you think of this new tax bill that President Trump wants to sign before Christmas. Write to me on Twitter at Lookner. I'll read your comments on the air. But first, a couple quick details about the deal that was reportedly reached today on this tax bill. So this is an article that Bloomberg came out with. Bloomberg's been reporting on this. And a couple key points here that I want to show you. So the original House and Senate bills had the corporate rate going down to 20%. The compromise has the corporate rate at 21%. So a little more income for the government to offset some of the losses they would have by taxing companies less. So they're talking that reportedly, they have reached a deal to not cut the rate to 20% for corporations. The deal will be to cut the rate to 21% from 35%. This is a big deal here in this deal. They have agreed, reportedly, the House and Senate, to cut the top rate on the highest income earners to 37%. The House bill left that rate at 39.6%. The Senate cut it to 38.5%. But in this deal, they've agreed to lower it to 37%. Reportedly, that was to address complaints from higher income people that they thought they weren't getting enough tax cuts in this bill. So it's interesting. It's not really a compromise, because you can see the House left it at 39.6, the Senate left it at cut it to 38.5. The deal supposedly lowers it to 37%. Personally, I wonder, is this going to be a big, I'm guessing this will be a big issue among the left that they'll talk about. Is this the kind of issue that could get a lot of publicity? And remember, the Senate does not have a lot of leeway in terms of passing this bill. There are 52 Republican senators. They can only lose 2 of them on supporting this bill. So, we'll just have to see if there's a big uproar about this. To me, this seems like the thing that people on the left might really grab onto in this deal and say, look, they're lowering the individual taxes for the top earners. And just, let's see. Another big thing I want to point out here is this. The Obamacare mandate. The House said, you get a penalty now. You have to pay a penalty if you don't buy health insurance. That's one of the key provisions of Obamacare. The House bill didn't do anything about that. The Senate bill said it was going to repeal it by phasing it out. And in the joint agreement, reportedly, they are going with phasing out, repealing the Obamacare individual mandate. That means getting rid of the penalty on people who don't buy health insurance, which some people think is basically going to destroy Obamacare, because you won't have a lot of healthy people will just not buy insurance, and then the health insurance markets will collapse in the individual market. So that reportedly is in that joint agreement reached today. That's a really big deal. And another quick thing I want to talk about is the grad student tuition thing, because a lot of grad students were concerned about that. And let me just show you real quick a tweet on that. Oops. The tweet was, actually I have to, of course this is auto playing, so I have to stop it from audio playing. But here's the tweet right here from Sahil Kapoor. Facing an uproar, Republicans decide to kill the House-passed bill on graduate school tuition waivers. Currently, grad students, if they get free tuition or a tuition discount, they don't have to pay taxes on that. So, like, if tuition is normally $20,000 and you go to grad school and they waive your tuition, you don't have to pay taxes on that $20,000. You're not, because you're not getting it as income. You're just getting free tuition. But the House bill changed that, and for grad students, that was going to mean a lot of additional taxes, and a lot of grad students universities were concerned about that. Reportedly, in the compromise bill, they have done away with that, and it'll stay the same, where grad students don't have to pay taxes on their tuition waivers. All right. So what did you think about President Trump's speech? What do you think about this compromise tax bill? We're hearing some of the details. We haven't heard all of the details of it. I don't even, from what I've heard, not even all the details on the compromise bill are worked out, but some of the big ones are. We just heard about some of them. Let me know what you think on Twitter, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. And I'm going to check my messages right now. Dawson Irwin writes in, I just got done watching the live stream of President Trump's tax reform speech, and I think it's so great of how he feels and how early he is trying to get this done. So you, Dawson, support the president trying to get this done before Christmas. Now, one reason to get it done before Christmas for President Trump is to get Americans tax relief sooner. But also, now that Doug Jones has won the Alabama Senate election, Doug Jones is going to take that Alabama seat starting at the beginning of 2018. Luther Strange is currently the interim senator. He's a Republican. So President Trump does not want to let this tax bill slide until next year, when there will be one fewer Republican senator. So he is trying to get it done early. And so is Congress. Let's see. Free Roger Stone writes in, I thought if one portion of Obamacare falls, it all falls. Well, what in the agreement that's reportedly been reached in Congress today on their compromise tax bill, one part of Obamacare says you have to pay a penalty if you don't buy health insurance. So Obamacare is not like a law. It's not like you get thrown in jail for not buying health insurance, but you do have to pay a penalty. That's the motivation for people to buy it. Now, that's a part of the law that can be repealed. It's not, they don't have to repeal the whole law or repeal none of the law. They can repeal the penalty part of the law. And if they do that, there are other provisions in Obamacare that still stay the same. So, for example, there's a provision in Obamacare about health insurance not being able to charge people more for pre-existing conditions. That'll still be in effect. So, but the problem is that some people say the problem is if you get rid of the individual mandate, if you get rid of the penalty on people who don't buy health insurance, what's going to happen is healthy people won't buy health insurance. And so the health insurance companies will have to raise their rates a lot because a lot of healthy people are no longer buying health insurance. Those rates are going to be too expensive, and it's going to cost the government more and more and more to subsidize people to buy health insurance. And also, the rates will be too expensive for middle-class people who can't even afford a government subsidy and have to buy insurance on the individual market. And basically, the system just won't work. People won't be able to afford health insurance. It'll cost the government too much money, and the system just won't work. So that's really what some people say will happen if you get rid of the Obamacare mandate. But, you know, I mean, there's competing views on this. I'm just giving you one view of why some people say you need to have the Obamacare penalty on people who don't buy health insurance. But reportedly, this compromise bill gets rid of that. Cat Church writes in, is the mortgage and local tax deduction still in place? Good question. Here's what happened with the mortgage interest deduction. Let me pull it up here. So the Senate didn't change the mortgage interest deduction. The Senate did not change the mortgage interest deduction. The House capped, right now the mortgage interest deduction is you can deduct loans of up to $1 million from purchases of homes. You can cap it at loans of up to $1 million for purchases of homes. You can deduct the mortgage interest on loans of up to $1 million. The Senate was going to not change that at all. The House was going to lower that cap so you could only deduct the interest of you're paying on loans up to $500,000. They basically they reached a compromise, like they reached in the middle. Whereas the Senate was going to leave it at $1 million. The House was going to lower it to $500,000. Their joint agreement caps it it lowers the threshold from $1 million to $750,000. So in this joint agreement, the mortgage interest deduction would be there, but instead of being able to deduct the interest from loans up to $1 million, you'd only be able to deduct interest on loans up to $750,000, which is compromised between the House and Senate bill. As for the state and local tax deductions, here was the compromise here. The compromise is to limit the combined deductions for state and local income taxes and property taxes to $10,000. So let's see here. In the House deal, the House bill said repeal the deduction except for property taxes capped at $10,000. Senate said repeal deduction except for property taxes capped at $10,000. So it looks like the change there is to add, it looks like to me that what they've done is they've added in that you'll still be able to deduct not just property taxes, but also state and local income taxes. That's back in, but you can only do it up to $10,000. I should check on this. Is the current state and local tax deduction, you can deduct all state and local taxes? I'm not sure on that. What is it? Let me see if I can look it up. What is the current state and local tax deduction? I bet this will not give me an answer really quick. How does the deduction for state and local taxes work? Oh, it looks like here's taxpayers who do itemized deductions. It looks to me like they can deduct all of the state and local taxes. So right now, that's going to be limited to $10,000. But at the same time, if you look in the original House and Senate bills, they were only going to allow you to deduct property taxes up to $10,000. In the compromise bill, they're going to allow you to deduct both property taxes and state and local income taxes up to $10,000. Good question, Cat Church. Hey, we got a donation. Miss Rob Mob gave $18. Thank you, Miss Rob Mob. And she says, I hope all Americans unite and vote together for the tax reform bill. Or I hope all Republicans unite and vote together for the tax reform bill. Or Democrats are going to get further momentum. Democrats are using sexual misconduct to get their way, including against President Trump. Sad face emoji. So thank you, Miss Rob Mob, for donating. Your donations keep us on the air, so we really appreciate it. If you want to donate and support Right Side Broadcasting, go to the bottom of the YouTube chat and just click on the little $ sign there. Or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And don't forget, subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell so you get notified whenever we come on the air with a new breaking news video. We cover news throughout the day, have lots of live videos all the time. So subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can follow us on Twitter at @RSB Network. And I'm on Twitter at @Lookner. I'm taking your comments right now about President Trump's tax speech, about this new joint tax bill that's been reportedly agreed upon, at least the major parts of it today, by the House and the Senate. So let me know your thoughts. Write to me on Twitter at Lookner. Vika Varkosh says, by the way, thank you for not freaking out yesterday during the Alabama election. I think what you're referring to, Vika Varkosh, is I had said at the beginning of the election, during our coverage, I said, no matter what happens, I bet the mainstream media is going to freak out about it. And I said, well, we're not going to do that here. We're going to keep it calm here. So we tried to do that on the broadcast and give you just the news. Kathy Michaud writes in, looking forward to the tax bill helping our married children now having their own families. Between a tighter job market and school loans, it is a tight squeeze. I love how the president had families on stage to put a face to situations. Thanks for writing in. Oh, Free Roger Stone says, happy birthday, Joe Seals. I want to say that real quick. Happy birthday, Joe Seals. Joe Seals is the CEO of Rightside. He's also producing this broadcast. He created Rightside Broadcasting. So if you want to wish Joe Seals a happy birthday, you know what you can do? You can write to him on Twitter. He's at Joe Seals, at JoeSeales. Joe Seals' birthday today. Happy birthday, Joe. And thanks for reminding me. I wished Joe an early happy birthday last night, but I hadn't said it to him today. So that's good you reminded me, Free Roger Stone. Cat Church says, thank you for the answer. Thank you for the question, Cat Church. Brett 2 writes in, Steve, why is President Trump still on tax reform? He has been on tax reform for 2 months now and is still sticking on tax reform. Thanks. Have a great day. Well, the reason, Brett 2, is that, you know, these bills take a while to pass. And look, honestly, with this bill, a lot of people are saying this tax bill process has been too fast, but it's been a couple months. But, you know, for a president to shepherd a bill through, oftentimes presidents feel like they really have to keep up the public pressure on Congress and keep the public abreast of what's going on, and keep telling the public why the bill is good. So President Trump really wants to get this tax bill passed, and that's why, you know, first the House was going to vote on it. So he felt, you know, he probably felt he wanted to go out there and tell the public about this and get some pressure on the House to vote on it. Then the Senate was going to vote on it. Now they have to reach a compromise, and they have to both pass the compromise bill. So there are a lot of steps in passing the bill. It takes a while, and that means if the president wants to support the bill and also, you know, maybe have some public pressure applied to complete the different steps by Congress, he's got to constantly be talking about it. And right now is a big time because there are only a couple of weeks till Christmas, and the president really feels like he has to get this bill passed before Christmas. So that's why, you know, he's constantly been talking about this tax bill. It's not like one vote passes the bill. It's a long process to get a bill passed, and the president feels like he needs to be out there in public supporting this bill throughout that process. Okay, let me just make sure here I got to your messages. Oh, and Brett 2 writes in, happy birthday, Joe Seals. Hope you have a Trumptastic day. Thanks. Have a great day. Thanks, Brett, for writing in. Okay, we're going to be on the air a few minutes longer here. So if you have any comments on President Trump's speech or a tax speech, or any question or any comments on this tax deal that's been reached, you can give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Feel free to follow me there as well. I post about breaking news all the time. I'll post about, if I hear more details on this tax bill compromise, I will let you know today on Twitter. Just doing a real quick check to see. I like to make sure that nothing kind of crazy happened in the last few minutes news-wise while we've been on the air. And I'm also trying to think of, like, What will be the big news? You know, we had the election last night. We had the tax speech today. I'm guessing there will be White House press briefings later this week. But one big news event to put on your calendar is whenever the Congress does vote on this tax bill, we're going to have a vote in the House and we're going to have a vote in the Senate. And if they both pass it, then we will presumably have a signing ceremony. I don't know. Remember when the House initially passed their version of the health bill? And remember, the Senate didn't pass an Obamacare reform bill. But when the House passed it, there was like a big ceremony in the Rose Garden. I wonder if the House and Senate pass a joint tax bill and it's sent to the president to sign, will the president have a big ceremony and have a bunch of speeches and stuff like that? So it'll be interesting to see if that happens, because that would be, for the president, a pretty big legislative victory if he could get this tax bill passed. All right, I think we've answered all of your questions. Oh, we got another donation. Jude, wow. RSBN moderator Jude, who is our head moderator. You can follow her at RSBN moderator. Jude also is the mother of our CEO, Joe Seals, and also Right Side's Jake Seals. RSBN moderator donated $37, and she says, in honor of Joe's 37th birthday, happy birthday, son, I love you. Oh, that's very nice. That's really nice. Nice work, Jude. So that is from Jude, and Jude wishes her son, Joe, a happy birthday. Oh, how lovely. What a lovely moment here at Right Side Broadcasting. Okay, I think we got all your messages answered, and I think for now we're going to end the stream right here. So we really appreciate you joining us for our coverage today of President Trump's tax speech. If there's more news later today, this evening, we will come on the air and talk about it. So subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell when you do. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting, on Twitter at RSB Network. I'm on Twitter at Lookner. Joe Seals is at Joe Seals. What else was I going to say? I wanted to say something and I forget now. It wasn't. Oh, we love when you like and share our videos. We love when you like our videos on YouTube and you share them on Facebook, because that lets other people know about the videos. So if you like our videos, feel free to like them on YouTube and share them on Facebook. Thanks for donating so much, for the people who donated. We love donations because that lets us do this coverage for you. So feel free to donate to us and support us and keep us on the air, because that'll allow us to do more news. And if you want to donate, you can always go to the bottom of the YouTube chat, click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate. rsbn.tv/donate. You can even get free stuff like this Right Side mug by setting up a monthly donation at rsbn.tv/donate. Thank you to the moderators. And in the YouTube chat, we got Barbara and Webster and Guinevere and Jude and JC. They're all there. And Common Sense and Gleno on the website. So, and thanks to everybody else for saying thanks in the chat room. Frank Barrett is saying thanks. And Are You Handy? And Grant Patillo. And everybody else there in the chat room. Donna Maria, Joshua Sr., Light Switch, The American, and everybody else for watching. Oh, Troop Number says he likes my shirt. Thank you. The one sad thing is I'm currently with our setup here, I'm using a webcam for various reasons, and I can't wear plaid shirts, which I'm sad about, because I can only wear solid color because the camera does not like the non-solid color shirts. So too bad. All right, we're wrapping this up right now. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks for Joe Seals for producing, and a big happy birthday to Joe Seals. We will see you soon with more news, whenever that is, but I'm sure it'll be soon. For now, I'm Steve Lookner for Joe Seals, and from all of us at Right Side Broadcasting, have a great day.